Hi guys, welcome to DevOpsSchool. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about
Ansible is an open source platform or automation tool that is mainly used to accomplish IT tasks such as application development, configuration management, intra-service orchestration, and IT provisioning. There are simple configuration in the form of data description of the infrastructure, which are readable between humans and machines.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOpsSchool certification level courses, which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
We also we also write a playbook and rules and inventories and stuff like that. Then we discuss about what is plugins at high level, what is a modules, what is a configuration, what is a playbook and inventory at a high level. Now followed by we understand what we are going to do in Ansible. I mean what are the roles you are going to play in Ansible. So yes, we wanted to become a developer, so you wanted to write a playbook, roles, custom module, or you wanted to become a operationals, so you want to manage inventory access etc and run that Ansible program in the required inventory. Then we discuss about how to become an Ansible development, and then we saw that in order to become an Ansible developer we have to install Ansible. Then we have to write a YAML, that's nothing but a playbook. Inside a playbook we'll have to have a variables, operator, conditioning, looping, methods and functions. And then if you get a complexity of the programs more and more, convert into the rules, and rules has a playbooks, files, templates, handlers and bars. Then we discuss about the operations responsibilities also. Then we discuss about the evolution of the YAML programming language, which and then followed by installing the Ansible, and then checking out all this whatever we discussed on above, and then discuss about if something can be done through command line, ad hoc command line, why to write a playbook, why to write a YAML file for it. So I show you the demo here, localhost running with a which module concept, which parameter concept, and here we discussed detailed the manner of which what is a module, different categories, module has a parameter, type, required, optional, all these things we have understood in the table out here. And then some of the modules which we have learned like here. So yes, pseudocode is very important for any project. So whenever you start any project, convert into the pseudocode. That means step 1, 2, 3, 4 and followed by, and then find out for each step, find it out one module for it, and then find it out what you want to do as per the parameters which you needed. So this way if you go further, it will be very easy for using Ansible for automation. Else it has a thousands of modules, very difficult to do that. Some of the modules which we have worked with like YAM copy service module, and this is the ad hoc pattern, ad hoc command pattern which you have used it. And finally we got this lab done. So here so far we have understood three major areas of our syllabus. One is what is Ansible, second is why Ansible, and the third question is what is the architecture along with Ansible ad hoc command. Any questions you guys have before proceeding further? Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so now I think let me go to the flow documents. That way it will give us a guidance which way we should go and learn. So if you see here, I showed you this flow documents. So here we did this one. Okay, so do one task in one machine. This is done. Now remaining things we have to get it done. Now here when you talk about one task in remote machine, so here I am talking about this is a ACS, and here this ACS will communicate with ARS. Now if it is Windows, then if you remember, we have a protocol which is called HTTP protocol. If you see that here somewhere here, you see here, if the ACS communicate with Windows, then we have a protocol which is called HTTPS protocol, HTTP protocol, using the WinRM. But if ACS, which is in Linux, connect to Linux, then they use SSH protocol. So here, when I connect to the remote machine, this is the remote machine, this is the remote machine. Now I'm only talking about the Linux. Okay, we will have a discussion on Windows also once we complete till the playbook, because that way it will become easier for us to get into the Windows. So yes, how do we connect with it? So here we need to ask these questions. So let me start with a question, and that is how to connect to from ACS to ARS. That's the question. Now here the scenario is Linux to Linux. Now protocol is SSH. Okay, so now we need to understand how do we connect to ACS to ARS. So there is a two things which I would suggest here: ACS, ARS. Now there is a two things. One thing is called authentication. Okay, that means how to get into the system, how to authenticate. Okay, protocol is SSH, how to authenticate. And another thing which we call it authorization, right? That means what you are supposed, what you are allowed to do that. So one is authentication, another one is authorization. So first you get in the system, then you try to do something and check if you have a privileges or something like that or not. Now how can you get into the ARS using SSH? So we know that there is a two way. One is username. First of all, we need IP address for sure, correct? Plus you need a username, correct? And third thing, you need a password. This is the one way to authenticate SSH based ARS. And second way, we need IP address, you need IP address, username, and plus keys, correct? So these are the two ways in which you can authenticate through SSH. That is how authentication works. Okay, there are many other methods also are there. For example, certificates and stuff like that. We will not talk about it because this is the primary one. Okay, so so guys, are you comfortable with this? IP address, username and password, IP address, username and key, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Now, now authorization. Now we need to understand the behavior of SSH in terms of authorization. Let's say you log into the normal user. Okay, so you need authorization, right, to install some installation or some services work. You need a more authorization. Typically we have a sudo. So what happens, most of the time we work with a sudo, and we all work, we know that how sudo works. So I'm not teaching you something new, you know that very well, but just reminding you. First thing, if you want to authenticate, you or authorize yourself with the more privileges, you do the sudo. But this sudo has a characteristics. Sudo without a password. Understand that? Sudo without a password. But sometime what happens, when you do sudo, it will ask you a password also with a password. And sometime what happens, you might have noticed actually, when you do the sudo, it required different username and password as well. That means first thing, authentication, give your user ID and password, and then for sudo also you need a different user and password. So this situation, when we do that, so typically these situations when we have a different user and password, what we do, let's say this is a machine, okay, and we give multiple user access to this machine through SSH. Okay, now we don't want to give everyone sudo access, everyone we don't want. So what we say, we will create one utility account, so you can log into this machine using any your user ID and password, but you can only sudo using this user ID and a password or keys, whatever it is. Okay, so this is the sudo behavior whatever we have. So is that okay? Can we move on? Did you understand this authorization behavior with a sudo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now next topic is why I'm talking about it. Remember, our topic itself is how to connect it to ACS, to ARS using ACS, using SSH. So these are the behavior we needed. Now, can I go ahead and check that? So my machine for the day is this one. Here, here, username EC2-user, and keys you have, I have, we all have the key, same key. So here, yes, let's improve the view little bit of it. And here EC2-user. In ACS, I'll become a sudo. See, this is right now sudo without a password. For me, it's there without a password, this behavior. But sometime you will be prompted for the password. So now this is my ACS. Now I will quickly get my installation done. It'll hardly take few seconds. And that is, here it is. So let's get meanwhile one more machines for ARS. In fact, I'll go for the two more machine. community. This is, I will name it ARS. Review launch. Keys we are using same one. Done. Okay, so here Ansible ACS is ready now. Now, then I will gather the IP address, two IP address, which is here. This is the ARS. This is the ARS. I am putting up IP address here, two machines. Now, let's understand these options in terms of Ansible. So let's check it out. Here, let me make it a full view. Now, if you run Ansible-H, look at this here. It's divided into the connection options, privilege escalations options, optional arguments. So first thing, it's Ansible. Okay, here Ansible, there is a one area section which is called optional arguments. All this you will find it. One, you find connection options here. Second and third, you find privilege escalation options. Okay, these are the three one. So first thing is these are the options which is available for you. Second thing is this is the authentication connection options. This is the authentication, ACA, also known as authentication, and this is ACA authorization. Okay, this is the authorization. So here connection options, privilege escalation options, here you have it, Ansible. Now all these authentication options you get in the connection options. So let's check it out. Look at this. So if you want to log in with the user IP is a part of the inventory, so leave it. If you want to pass the username, can you help me which option I should select? You only find it out for me. Any option which you think is good for us?
Hyphen U.
Yeah. So here we found out, I copy here, -u for the user, correct? Now for the password, can you help me here? What option we should provide?
-K.
Yes, -K. So can we use the K? So you only found out how to authenticate to the remote machines. Now here I will use -u, and for the key, let's say I have a key, AWS provide the key. So if I have a keys, which option I should provide?
minus private key.
Yes, key file, you can provide this or this, both are okay. So can I provide this? So here I learned myself how to authenticate. Now I need to know how to authorize myself, and for this I need to know these options. So can you please tell me how to become without a password out of these options? How to become a without a password?
-B, right?
-B. Yes, I want to become without a password. Can you tell me how to do the sudo but with a password?
minus capital K.
Capital K, yes. So here -B, capital K, right? Oh, sorry. Here capital K. Now I want to do sudo. There's a one option, different user ID and password. Yeah, it's here. So different user ID and password. So can you tell me here what are the options? I think you know by now, correct? Correct. So
Yeah.
-B, capital K, and this one. So you saw that how can we authorize, okay, authorization, we can enable it. So now you only find out all these options. So the answer for this question is done. How to connect from ACS to ARS. Now only thing which we needed, we need a ad hoc commands, because we are still in the ad hoc phase. So we need a ad hoc command. So can we go ahead and check that? Can we, instead of running in the local host, can we run it in the remote machines? So now let's get started. So day one, I will copy all these ad hoc programs which I used to run it yesterday, last day. Here I need a index.html, which is the only things which I have a content here. Let me copy it somewhere here where I am, by the way. So here I am inside a root directory via index.html, and done. Now I need a keys also, you know that. So keys, because I don't have a password, I have a keys. So here I need a keys. So here is the keys. Now Rajesh Mumbai key, and here I'm going to store here vi remote.pem, and here I store it. This is the file which you got it, remote.pem. So now I got the key also. Now after this, I am going to run this. I am going to convert this one to remote host. So remote host IP address is this one. Now the question is, what is this? Okay, the question is, what is this? So guys, here we need to understand a remote host cannot, I mean, host machine, if you want to pass the host machine, you cannot use it just like this. You cannot use it just like this. It's not possible, because they say either it has to be the local host or remote host. So local host is okay, but remote host cannot be passed like this. So if you see that Ansible-H, and you see here pattern, it says pattern and give the host pattern. Okay, in detail, if you go, can you help me? How can I pass the inventory host pattern here? How can you pass the inventory host pattern?
-I.
-I. That is wonderful. So guys, -I and stand for inventory. Now the question is, we need to understand what is inventory. What is inventory? So I think, let me recall the discussion of the day one, what I said about the inventory. So here, day one, this is the inventory. Here, look at this. It is maybe a file, but it contains the list of IP addresses. So what is this? So what is inventory? So let's define now. What is inventory? Inventory is a list of, I said again, list of IP addresses. List, it's a list basically. Understand this. List. Okay. Now this list of IP addresses can be on command line, okay? It can be in a file also, in a file. Now when I say file, I am putting it INI file, okay? INI format, okay? INI format. Now here it can be script also. Yes, it can be script like a Python script, Perl script, shell script, which can return list. It can be script also, okay? So it can be on command line, it can be on file, it can be on script, it can be anything, but right now I am using can be on command line. So now the question is, what is inventory? It is a list of IP address, can be on command line, can be on file, can be can be a script also. It has group, it has group of group, it has behavioral parameter, okay, and it has variables also. But all these things one by one we will go through this. So first let me talk about inventory, which is nothing but a list of IP address over the command line, So can I show you inventory? So first thing what we learn is copy, paste, and provide -I, okay? I. Now is this is a list? Tell me, is this the list?
No. No, it needs to be a file.
Is this the list now?
I don't think so.
It can be, right? Because it's separated by comma. List may contains one element or multiple element, right? Separated by comma. So yes, this is considered to be a list which has only one host entry. Okay, so here this is an inventory list of IP address where is only one IP address is there. Okay, so can I replicate same thing, all the commands? Yes. Now you see here, so what I am doing right now, I pass the inventory with the command line, the remote host with the help of the inventory over the command line. Now same module I am going to execute in the remote machine, but we need authentication. So for that I am using what is username? EC2-user, and I am using key file. What is this key file? Remote .pem. So here this is the things. Can I copy this? Look at this, how I'm creating a command. So now you see here Ansible run in this inventory, what, this module with this parameter. But do you have authentication? Yes, this is the authentication. I have not given authorization so far. Okay, so this is the command, but there's something which is missing here. Can I try first this one itself, and I'll show you this one. Authentication note, I'm not trying authentication. It says that invalid options, that whatever the command you are passing, it's not good. Arguments is not appropriate. So what do we do now? Basically what we are doing here is, when you do the local host, which is here, that means it's a local host. But when you do the pass the inventory and the list of IP address, whenever you pass the inventory and list of IP address, you do have to declare one more thing. And what is that? See here, when I say inventory, this is your environment, whole environment, and you have so many boxes, a list of IP address. Now here you want to execute this module on all the machines of your list, or you want to only execute in this. That pattern is missing here. So here you are not specifying this module should be executed on this, but where? All or only one? Groups. This is called group basically. So now the question is, what is a group here? What is a group here? What
Something
is,
like hyphen limit, something.
yeah. So group is a collections of server IP address or host name inside a inventory. Okay, you can say it's a subset also, subset of IP address, subset of all machines, all servers in inventory. That means there's a one group app server, there's a one group database server, there's a one group web server, like this. So this is the whole inventory, but it has a group. But there is a one group, two group which has been given by Ansible, all and no group, all and no group. So here this is a default group, means all machines, all means all. This is the given by default. Can we create our own group? Yes, you can create a group also, custom group. I will show you in some time. Okay, so here basically what I need to do is I need to add Ansible all machine, because I have not created a group right now. All machines of which inventory? This inventory, whereas the list is only one machine. What module? This module with this parameter and this user and this keys. Okay, so can I now run? Now what is this? Now what is this?
You're connecting to the remote
Yes.
system.
So this is the Linux SSH behavior. When you connect to the any of the remote machine first time, then it fingerprints basically ask you, do you know that machine which you are trying to connect? And if you say yes, then just a second, known host file will be created. Where? Let me show you. See here, cd.ssh. See here, watch ls. See, there is only authorized file, there is no known host file. If I say yes, if I say yes, if I say no, you see here, do not get connected. But if I say yes, see, known host got created in the machine. So this yes means from now onwards, I know this machine is a safe, secure, I can connect it. SSH is allowed for that. That is a SSH behavior, which Ansible has got that and behaving like that. But you know one thing, if it is a one machine, that's okay, I can connect and do S. But if it is a thousands of machine, that's not okay. So I need to change the behavior of Ansible. So do you remember day one, how can I change the behavior of Ansible? Do you remember?
Configuration files?
Yes, configuration file. So the question is, where is the configuration file? And here it is. See here, configuration file. Okay, so where is the configuration file? I don't know whether I covered or not. Let me check. Yes, I did cover here. So here
You mentioned it,
yeah,
Ansible.
Yeah. So this is a configuration file. You see that here. Can I modify that file for permanently? So it should not bother me all the time. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I am going to change this. Now, if you look at this file, you have hundreds of options. And let me tell you here, not very difficult to understand the huge use of it. Because all these are commented. If you want to change the default behavior of Ansible, then only you need to change this file. Okay. So you have hundreds of files, but I know that there is one behavior parameter which is called host key checking. So I just search, enter n, and here it is. It says uncomment this to disable SSH key host checking. That means if I uncomment, by default it will ask me, but if I uncomment, it will not ask me for the next time. So see here what is I'm doing. I am deleting this known host rm. I deleted, rerun this, watch here, and you see here I am rerunning that command one more time, and this time it did not ask, and automatically known host file got created. But the problem here is we got the access issues. Now can you help me by reading the error message? What is the problem here, what we have now?
Permissions with the key being provided.
Yes. So here you saw that error, and the solution is, see, SSH says the permission, if you have a wide, then I will not allow you to use it. What is a wide means? Anything more than 600 is considered to be a wide. So 644 is the default permission for the Linux in the for any files. So here you got a 644 for this file remote.pm file. So what I need to do? I need to do the 600. So how can you change the permission? Chmod. These are the Linux behavior actually. Here it is. And then I change the permission. Now can I try?
If you liked our Ansible session so far, please enroll for our channel membership 399 plan to get access of all the parts.
And you see there's a different error altogether. I know that this error is not making any sense for you, but yes, if you want to see more error, if still you want more error, -vv. If you still want more error, -vvv. Still if you want more error, -vvv. And one more vvv. So basically it's a info, error, debug, verbose, all these things you can get up to the 5th. I have tried, and you get a debug stuff. So now you can read this and get to know, okay, fine, permission is a problem. Permission is a problem here, because this guy cannot install, this user cannot install httpd in the remote machine. So guys, that's where authorization will come, and which is my scenario, by the way. I have a scenario sudo without a password. But if you have this one and this one, you know the solutions for your scenario, future scenario already. So can I try -b and can I give it -b and -v? So guys, I'm running that command. Clear the screen. Is under the progress installing. and you see that installation has happened. So can I rerun this command one more time? And you see here, changed is equal to false. This is called idempotent. Okay, so now this is done. Can I do this one also? Can I do this one also? And you see here, can I validate? Done. Now this is completed. This is completed. So guys, did you understand what and all I did in order to run modules using ad hoc command in the remote machine? Did you understand authentication options given by Ansible, authorization option given by Ansible, and then concept of SSH behavior logins and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
I did.
questions? Now you know what?
Yeah,
Yeah, please tell me.
and seeing that you are running that, is it possible to pass two models on the same line, or you need to run model by model? I mean,
So
if you
here,
are thinking on.
yes, for that we have a solution also. So I'm coming back slowly. I'm coming back multiple modules, so that can be possible. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, okay, you are telling to me, can I run it like this? Let's say I will run it multiple modules together like this. Is that so?
Oh, well, the key volume, because I had that try and didn't work. So
Yeah. So
For me, it only worked for the last module.
yeah, here it's taking changed false is trying to last module. So it's taking command line last module only here. Okay. So now I have never tried, to be honest, last module this way, because we have so much of habit in the role. That's a objective of our session, role last one. So we never get into this so much. Okay. Anyways, so last module will take. Okay. So now there is a problem here. How can I pass multiple remote machines? So there is a problem here. So let me fix that. So here, if I want to run same module 3 machines, so what do we do now? So we will use IP address separated by comma. So I got the 3 machines including ACS also, comma. So now see here, I am able to run, check it out just a second. So here I am able to run, oh, my mistake, clear the screen. See, 1 machine is done, second, third is been done. Yeah, and you see here it's got completed. So can I redo this stuff with all the remaining?
Yeah.
Here and here. Can I validate all these 3 machines where the deployment has successfully or not? 1 machine, second machine, and third machine. You see here, if you have one command and if you want to do it through the command line passing this list of IP addresses, you can do that. If you have one module, you can do it very easily. So Ansible command is very powerful. So this is done. But there is a problem. There is a problem. And the problem is you definitely would not like to have something like this. Of course, you don't like to have something like this. Just a second. I have to copy this. Too many machines. Would you like to have this kind of commands? Of course not, right? This is too confusing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a problem. And there's a problem managing the multiple machine, and we have a solution. It can be a file also. So I showed you the command. Now it can be file also. So rather than putting up everything in the command line, we should be having inventory file solution. And what is a solution? Simple. You go ahead, create any file name. I just said any file name, but typically I have a habit of keeping a file name inventory. Okay, so that way I know that. And here I will keep all of my IP addresses over there and separated by new line. This is INI format. Okay, and done. So I got the 3 machines. So now instead of passing those odd way, I can write so many machines in the inventory file, and I should call this whole things as just a file name. It can be relative path, absolute path, whatever it is, inventory. Now it's become so easy to manage multiple machines. You saw that here, and so easy right now. See here. So now it's so cool, right? Here I can write hundreds of machines here, hundreds of servers whom I want to work with it, and I will pass this all. Inventory, module name, permission, authorization, done.
Do we have a limit of machines to put in
No,
that file?
no, you can keep it as long as you want it. There's no limit as long as the format is correct. Now the question is, do we have a limit to parallelly deploy with Ansible? Then yes. Let's say if you have, even though if you keep the 100 machines, but it will deploy at max parallel by default 5 machines. Why? Because here there's one setting which is there. Let me show you, because you asked me this question. Here there is an option called fork. Fork means multiple machines at a time they will hit. So 5 machines they can hit. Now if you want to increase this, you should be having good capacity of CPU and RAM and stuff like that. And queuing is not possible in the command line. So for enterprise, we have a queuing also. Queue also is available. So that functionality we have in the enterprise tower actually. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Okay guys, so now it's become so simple, right? So we can run to any number of server if I keep this inventory list of IP addresses or host name in the inventory file, and that's okay. That's good. So now if you look at this here, do one task in a multiple remote machine. This is also I completed. So guys, any questions on these 3 sections of our learnings? Any questions?
No.
Okay, now next problem here is, I said very clearly, group. See here, inventory has a list of IP address. It can be on command line, file, and can be script. Now I'm talking about the file, and here it has a group. It has a behavioral parameter. It has a variables also. It has a group of group also. So what is this all about it? So here group, there is a 2 type. One is a default group, which I talked about it here, and there is a custom group. So now the question is, inventory may have custom group. It's up to you. You want to divide custom group. So now the question is, how do we create a group? That is a question. So before that, let me keep the content of the inventory for nodes.
With YAML.
Yeah, so this is the inventory content of the inventory. Now what I'm going to do is, this file, you are going to create a custom group. So can we create a custom group? Yes, we can create a custom group. Now let me do that. So here I create a group called web. So that's represent the web server. How to create a custom group? Just put it in square bracket. That is understood by Ansible. Just put it in square bracket. So these all machines belongs to web. This machine belong to app server. Now I will keep the only one machine here. Now this machine belong to DB, and here I will fake the IP address. 7, 8, 9, something like that. Some fake the IP address. It can be long list also. So can I keep this one? I have a 2 group, 3 group, web, app, DB, 3 custom group, where is a 2 default group, which I discuss here, group all and no group. So now all means all machines, no group machines, which is a part of the no group. As of now, there is none. So here, let me copy, and here you see vi inventory, delete everything, copy, done. And can I rerun the same command? But this time I would like to run against the group called web. That means only 2 machines. Please mindful. Here see here, 1 machine, 2 machine. Can I go to the second one? See here, 1 machine, 2 machine. Can I go to the third one? See here, done. So here I could do this one, but can I club it to group? Is it possible? Yes, that is possible. Separated by comma. Yes, this is also possible if you want it. Okay. See here. Done. 1 machine, 2 machine, 3 machines. So like this, you can also do this. So now this is a multiple group. So I said, yes, do one task in multiple remote machines using a group in the inventory. Did you understand the group concept? Is it very difficult?
No, it's okay.
Yep. Now there's one more thing I should cover. That is, here I said it has a group. This is done. This is a command line. This is done. Here this is done. Now it has a groups of group also. Okay, it has a groups of group also. So what is a groups of group? So basically for this, groups of group, that means combining the multiple group. So tell me here, I'll create a group of group, GOG, web, app. So is that GOG is a group and web is a group? GOG is a group of group and web is a group of
If you liked our Ansible session so far, please enroll for our channel membership $399 plan to get access of all the parts. Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@DevOpsSchool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.